Miss Rose, I'm here to convince you and to tell you that buying lands in a developing area is better than buying lands in a developed area.
Let's see what you got.
Now, have you heard about the proverb or the adage that says, when you are going to a river, you don't put your two legs in. You start with one of your legs. Because it's just practical. Like, as a new investor, like say this is your first time and you want to get into this business, you don't commit all your money into it. There should be contingency plans, right? What if it doesn't all go well? What if it doesn't work out? So you know where to start from, right? So that's why you should start from developing areas, because developing areas will not be as expensive as developed areas. And besides, you can have capital factors. At developed areas, let's say Uye, let's say Gwarimpa, let's say Asokoro, Maitama, Guzapemen. These are developed areas, which were once developing areas. And so the smart investors who keep into those areas when they were developing are the ones who are reaping the dividends now. So if you want to actually reap the full dividends of an area or a location, it's always best to start from investing while the location is developing rather than when it is actually developed. Okay, points?
Okay, so, I would say buy land in a developed area can give you immediately value, because a developed area already has roads, infrastructures, and electricity, water supply, and other infrastructures. And it gives you lower risks. You know exactly what you're buying and what the neighborhood looks like. That's already giving you a head point. You know this area you're buying, and it gives you lower risks and faster developments. You can build and start using property immediately. You can start up your property, but you're in developing areas, you'll be waiting for this one to build. You're waiting for a road, and people are scared. This is Nigeria. Developing areas, people are scared of the bushes around. You're waiting for this other person to come and build a house to enhance that area. Like you made mention of Gwarimpa, Uye, Maitama. You already know that is a developed area. You're not waiting for the government to start developing. You're not waiting for the government to start doing the road, infrastructures are coming in, all the stuff. So that's my point. That's what I'm saying.
Your point is it's basically only limited type of individuals who can actually key into these developed areas. But when you're coming from a broad point of view to accommodate almost everybody in the industry, you need to start from developing areas, because the developed areas, like somewhere like Uye, if you don't have about hundreds of millions, you can't even get the lowest square meter, which is 150 square meter, to build anything. So you don't expect someone who is a low income earner or to go and get money that he did not keep to invest in such. So that's why developing areas are always better. And when you talk about, you know exactly what you're buying, there's infrastructure, when we're talking about starting from developing areas, you as a smart investor strategically positioned in places that you have done your due diligence and you're sure that development and government infrastructure is coming through those corridors, that it has massive potential for development. Of course, yes.
It's okay.
As Abu
and I still stand on my point that developed area. You see, the higher demand. Properties is developed in developed areas are they are easier to sell. Or rent, because people already live there. So when that land is fully developed, they are easier to sell or rent or give out. So if you're buying this house or you're purchasing this particular plot, you can give out for rent. And because it's a developed area, people already know the worth of a developed area. We have accessibility. We have better return through rental income. You can start earning rental income sooner instead of waiting years for an area to be developed. You can start building when you have that rental income that you're getting. You can invest to another area. You see, rental income, I would say, is one of the points I'm saying. And then accessibility. Developed areas are closer to school, hospitals, market, and workplace. Somebody that is in this Nigeria, somebody that is living in Kuje, some of those Ubwa, and you have great opportunity to work in Maitama, to work in Uye, or you want to work in Jabi. You see people looking for houses to rent. You see looking for, because the accessibility to hospitals, road, and working areas are more, you know.
Okay. sorry to cut you short.
Okay.
The number of people basically in the industry or seeking to get into real estate, the most number of people who are eligible or qualified to buy properties, are they more in the developed areas or are they more in the developing area? Let me answer for you. There are more people who can buy from there than compared to developed areas like you mentioned. Because the percentage, if you check, it might actually be people who can actually buy or invest in developed areas are 10% compared to the 90% who can actually buy from developing areas. And let me bust your bubble, right? This is just the end point. Like, there's not, after I tell you this,
I would rather own a property where people want to live today.
Yes, you're fine.
Than wait years hoping they will want to live there tomorrow.
And percentage of how many people.
That's hoping.
If you have only 10 people, if you have only 10 people buying from developed area, and you have 90 people buying from developing area,
people want to live in developed.
That's by the way.
Let me give you strategic.
It's okay. Let me give you this last bomb. Now, do you know there was a time when Wuye was just a mere bush? Maitama, Asokoro, Guzape was just a mere bush, right? Now, Warimpa as well, Wuse, Otako, it was just mere bush. Now, I have a question for you. People who bought it when it was just mere bush. People who bought it when it was just a mere bush, and they stuck with it till it has grown to what it is now, right? And people who just buy at those developed locations now, which people do you think have strategically positioned themselves for more return on investment?
Once again, I'm not moving out of the
Sorry, I asked the question.
Yes, I'm answering you.
Answer me if you truly understand my question.
I understand your question.
Should I repeat my question?
No, you don't have to repeat the question.
So you actually do understand my question?
Exactly.
Then answer.
And I said, I'm not diverting from the fact I would say that buying a developing land is better than buying buying a developed land is better than buying a developing land.